Hey, what's going on YouTube? Welcome to Post Cologne. Today I'm going to give you 10 cologne fragrances for life. So let's jump into it. All right, so today we are talking cologne fragrances for life. These are some of my favorite cologne fragrances that I'm always going to want to have in my collection. And this was a very difficult video to make because there's a lot of cologne fragrances in my collection and I like a lot of them, but I had to narrow it down to 10 and that's what we're gonna do today. So links are gonna be down in the description if you decide you wanna check any of these fragrances out. Also have some coupon codes, save yourself $5, 5% off various discounters if you decide you wanna shop with them. So let's quit screwing around and let's get into it. All right, kicking things off, going to the house of Armaf with Armaf's Club de Nuit Iconic. Now, this is my second bottle of this fragrance because I enjoy this one so much, and this is just a big hit, mass appeal, crowd-pleasing, compliment-pulling fragrance that I just will always have to have in my collection. And it is a clone or a twist of the Bleu de Chanel, more the EDP than anything, and it's absolutely fantastic. A little bit more sparkly, a little bit more bright than the Bleu de Chanel. Really nice citrus profile in this, has this nice fresh spicy ginger, a little pop of some mint. Really kind of fresh out the shower, blue style of fragrance with a nice kind of sparkle that goes onto it. There's this nice incense in there that kind of wraps itself around these nice masculine woods towards the dry down. And it just has this, again, just mass appealing compliment beast style of scent profile to it. And I absolutely love this one. Perfect for date nights, perfect casually, and you can dress this one up as well. And the performance on this is fantastic. 8-10 hours off skin, no problem, and it does project off really well for the first 2-3 hours, so people are definitely going to smell you. So bang for your buck, this is a fantastic fragrance. If you're into that Bleu de Chanel style of DNA, you definitely want to check this one out. That's Armaf's Club de Nuit Iconic. All right, next up, going to the house of Lattafa, and it's Lattafa's Liam Gray. Now, this is a clone of BDK's Gris Charnel, and let me tell you, this is an absolutely beautiful, sexy, gentlemanly style of fragrance. Has this black tea, this fig that works its way in there, some sandalwood, nice vanilla, a little touch of some iris. And this really nice, beautiful, like aromatic, spicy cardamom that's in there. Just an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. Nice balance of some spice that's in there. This really creamy, silky, velvety sort of texture that works its way in there. This black fig that gives it that creaminess and that little bit of a fruity touch to it with that black tea adding additional sweetness, and this just creamy vanilla that sits on this beautiful sandalwood in the base. Absolutely a gorgeous scent profile on this. Like I said, has this gentlemanly sort of vibe going on to it, but the sexy, flirty, kind of mysterious allure at the same point. Absolutely gorgeous scent profile. Performance on this is pretty good. I get about 7-8 hours worth of longevity off my skin, and it does project out pretty good for the first hour and a half, 2 hours before settling back in. If you're looking for a really nice kind of fall wintry style of fragrance that's just perfect for casual, date nights, formal occasions, and just has that kind of sexy allure to it, you definitely want to check this one out. That's Lattafa's Liam Gray. All right, next up, going to the house of Fragrance World with Fragrance World's French Avenue Fierte. Now, this fragrance is one of the best YSL baby cat clones that I have put my nose on, and this is a recent pickup actually, and this was just absolutely love at first sniff because this is just a beautiful, spicy, rich vanilla, woody style of fragrance, and I just absolutely love it. Opens up with a really nice spice profile, some black pepper, pink pepper, a little bit of elemi in there that has this nice waxy texture, along with some nice spicy saffron, and you get little hints of this rich bourbon vanilla in that opening. But as this opens up, more of that vanilla comes forward, and it makes this a very kind of sweet, sensual style of vanilla, mixing in with that really strong, that spice profile, and it all blends together really nice. This elemi and the olibanum that's in there adds this nice kind of resiny, almost balsamic nature to it. And as you get towards the dry down, some nice rich woods come forward, fusing really nice with those spices, that additional saffron spice that's there, and this absolutely beautiful, rich, sweet bourbon vanilla that's there. Absolutely gorgeous balance of spices, some sweet, some woodiness that's there with nice little touches of some resin and balsamic sweetness. Gorgeous, gentlemanly, sophisticated, sexy, mysterious style of fragrance, and I absolutely love the DNA of this one, and the performance on this is fantastic. I'm getting about 2-3 hours worth of projection, well beyond an arm's length before it does settle back in, and I'm clocking 10+ hours off my skin. So this is a borderline beast mode fragrance, and it's absolutely gorgeous. Definitely worth checking out. That's Fragrance World's French Avenue Fierte. All right, next up, going to the house of Afnan with Afnan's Zamea Sharaf, The Club. Now, this fragrance is more of a twist or inspired by maybe of the Creed Aventus, maybe Hacivat style of DNA, but it goes in its own direction, which I really like about it. So it has those citruses, it has that birch, that oak moss, but these really nice white florals that mix in there along with this really sweet style of pineapple just gives us kind of a soft, opulent, additional white floral sweetness that's just absolutely gorgeous. Opens with this pineapple, little hits of some tart bergamot, this apple note, and this absolutely beautiful orange blossom that comes in from the mid with a little touch of some white floral. Orange blossom is just one of my favorite notes in fragrances, and it just really works well with those citruses. This almost smoky style of birch that comes through, this oak moss has some amberiness to it as well, so it has a really nice texture to it, nice balance of some earthiness, some woodiness that comes through with those like soft, opulent, sexy style of orange blossom and that white floral touch to this. Absolutely a gorgeous twist on that style of DNA, and I just can't get enough of this fragrance. Performance on this is pretty good. I get about 7-8 hours worth of longevity, and it does project off fairly well for the first 2 hours before it does settle back in. So if you're looking for something that's a little bit different, but still maintains some of that Creed Aventus style of like that birchiness, that oak moss, but it goes in a different direction with some nice added white florals, you absolutely need to check this one out. That's Afnan's Zemaya Sharaf, the Club. All right, next up, going to the House of Paris Corner, and it's Paris Corner's North Stag Huit. Now, I've talked about this fragrance a couple times recently because I am such a huge fan of this one, because it's a clone or an inspired by of one of my favorite fragrances of all time, which is the Victor and Rolf Spice Bomb, with a little bit of a twist. And I just absolutely love the twist in this. Has that same spice profile, that same style of DNA, the black pepper, pink pepper, some saffron, has a nice kind of earthy, dry tobacco that works its way in there. But the twist on this is this beautiful, smooth, creamy style of vanilla that comes in. A little bit of cinnamon and lavender that's mixed in there as well. The lavender kind of just elevates that spice profile. But as you get towards the dry down, when this vanilla comes through, just adds this sweetness to it that you don't get in the original Spice Bomb. And I really like that. It just balances off against those spices, adds kind of a sensual side to it, a flirty side to it. It's just an absolutely gorgeous scent profile, just mass appealing, crowd pleasing, compliment pulling fragrance, and it's just absolutely gorgeous. Can't get enough of this fragrance. And the performance on this, pretty good, about 6 to 8 hours worth of longevity, and it does project off fairly well for the first hour and a half before it does settle back in. So if you like the Spice Bomb original style of DNA, that spice profile that comes through, but you're looking for a little twist with some vanilla, you definitely want to check this one out. That's Paris Corner's North Stag Huit. All right, next up, going to the House of Maison Alhambra with Maison Alhambra's The Tux. Now, I could be wrong, but I think they renamed this one for legal or copyright reasons. Comment down below if they did and what the name of this fragrance is, but this is the clone of the YSL Tuxedo, and absolutely gorgeous, gentlemanly, sophisticated, smell like money, just absolutely gorgeous fragrance. Beautiful medley of some spices, has this nice dryness to it, this nose tickle black pepper that comes through, a little bit of coriander mixing in with some really nice earthy patchouli, and you get some hints of some vanilla that comes through, just adding some sweetness to it, adding a little bit of a kind of a softer texture to kind of contrast off against those earthy tones and that beautiful spice medley that comes through. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous fragrance. Performance on this, 6-7 hours worth of longevity off my skin, and it does project out fairly well for the first hour and a half before it does settle back in. If you're looking to smell like money, if you're looking to have that kind of alluring mystique, that gentlemanly sort of vibe, you absolutely need to try this one. That's Maison Alhambra's The Tux. All right, next up, going to the House of Wataniah with Wataniah's Cayenne Classic. Now, this fragrance is fairly new to my collection, but this was absolutely love at first sniff, backup bottle worthy. I will always have this in my collection so long as I can get it, because this is just an absolutely gorgeous interpretation of that Dior Homme Intense DNA. Beautiful Tuscan iris, this Italian orange in the opening, just soft, sophisticated, gentlemanly style of iris. Just the right level of sweetness with that little hint of some citrus in the opening. As this kind of moves towards the mid and the dry down though, you get little hint of some leather that works its way through, but this really nice sandalwood, this kind of musky ambrette that works its way in there. And it just forms a beautiful, soft, sophisticated, gentlemanly, sexy, alluring style of fragrance that I absolutely can't get enough of. It's really about the sweet powdery iris that's in here, but that sandalwood and that ambrette that comes through in the base just makes this an absolutely gorgeous fragrance, and I'm just in love with this fragrance. And the performance on this is pretty good, much better than the Dior Homme Intense in my opinion. 7-8 hours worth of longevity, and it does push off really well for the first 2 hours before it does settle back in. So If you're looking for that Dior Intense style of DNA, if you're looking for like a nice, soft, sophisticated, gentlemanly style of fragrance, you absolutely need to check this one out. That's Wataniah's Cayenne Classic. All right, up next, going back to the House of Armaf with Armaf's Club de Nuit Pursue 1. Now, this is a clone of Creativentus Absolute, and this was just love at first sniff when I got my hands on it. Just a beautiful medley of some citruses and some spices in the opening, mixed with some like nice caramel that's there. And then it moves into this nice, dark, deep, rich, earthy style of dry down with these nice woods there with little hints of some like musky vanilla. Absolutely a gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. Yeah, just a perfect combination of some like bergamot, some lemon, some pineapple, citrus in the opening, mixing with some black pepper, some pink pepper. But you get this really nice kind of lily of the valley and floral touch that's in the mid, adds kind of a fresh watery greenness to it before it starts transitioning into that kind of darker oak moss, kind of leather, woody, cedar style of dry down with that little bit of musky vanilla. And it's just absolutely a beautiful scent profile on this, and the performance on this is really good. I'm getting 8 to 10 hours worth of longevity, no problem, and it does project off really well for the first 2-3 hours before it does settle back in. Bang for your buck. This is a great, gentlemanly, kind of masculine boldness to it, but it has this like sophistication, this flirty edge to it, and it's just like a mass appealing, crowd pleasing, compliment beast fragrance that is absolutely worth checking out. That's Armaf's Club de Nuit Pursue 1. All right, next up, going back to the House of Paris Corner, and it's Paris Corner's Vibrant Vetiver Delight. Now, this is a twist on the Burrito's Bal d'Afrique, and I haven't talked about this one in a little while, but this is probably one of my favorite spring-summer style of fragrances. Just a really well put together combination of some citruses, this beautiful style of vetiver that goes into there, a little bit of this African orange flower that gives it a nice floral touch, just absolutely beautiful citrus, sweet, kind of woody vetiver style of DNA that really has that hint of that Bal d'Afrique style of DNA. So the tangetes in here, there's some black currant, there's some nice kind of lemon that's mixed in with those citruses. But as you get towards the dry down, you get a little bit more of this like this nice vetiver that works its way through. So it's not kind of like a dirty vetiver that you're used to in other fragrances, just kind of a nice, soft, almost grassy style of vetiver that's just absolutely beautiful, infuses really nicely with those citruses, that black currant sweetness, a little bit of spice that comes through, as well as those floral touches around the edges to give it a nice kind of softness to it and opulence to it as well. And it's just an absolutely gorgeous scent profile on this, and it performs very well. I get 8+ hours worth of longevity, and it is a moderate projector, but you're definitely getting your longevity's worth out of this fragrance. Gorgeous scent DNA on this, perfect for the spring and summertime, and you're gonna smell like $1,000,000. Absolute compliment beast of a fragrance, and I'm always gonna have this in my collection, and I definitely think you should check it out. That's Paris Corner's Vibrant Vetiver Delight. All right, last, but certainly not least, going back to the House of Fragrance World with Fragrance World's Spectre Ghost. Now, this fragrance is a clone of Nishane's Annie, and it is a little bit divisive. Some people really hate on this fragrance, other people absolutely love it. I just happen to be one of those people that absolutely loves it because just a beautiful spice medley mixed in with some vanilla, some nice woods that's mixed in there, but it's really about this beautiful spice vanilla that comes through. Cardamom, some vanilla, pressurized atomizer, a little bit of black currant that works its way in there, a little touch of some Turkish rose, so it has this just nice medley of these creamy, silky, sophisticated sweet notes with that just absolutely kind of thick, opulent vanilla, and it mixes in really nice with these spices, this pink pepper that's in there, that cardamom that's in there, just works together really well, just has this real nice sexiness to it, this kind of masculine mystique, this allure to it. Absolutely gorgeous. In the dry down, you get a little bit more woods coming through, but it just is this spiced vanilla sitting on top of these masculine woods that I absolutely love. And the performance on this is pretty good. I get about 8 hours worth of longevity off my skin, and it does project off really well for the first 2 hours before it does settle back in. So if you're into that kind of Nishane's Annie style of DNA, if you like a good spiced vanilla with a little bit of added sweetness from black currant, some nice earthy woods that work its way in there, some kind of a fresh spicy cedar, you absolutely want to check this one out. That's Fragrance World's Spectre Ghost. All right, so there you have it. That's 10 clone fragrances for life, some of my favorite all-time clone fragrances. But I want to hear from you guys. What are some of your favorite clone fragrances that you just will always want in your collection? Comment down below. I love hearing from you guys. I love getting your different recommendations, your hidden gems, different tastes and scent profiles. Appreciate you. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.